Hey guys, welcome to the next video from GH-Automotive Online. In this video I will show you the installation of the Racing Dashboard DO922 in my car. I will show you the functions of the sensors and the installation of the DPU. This car is a Volkswagen Lupo with a 1.5 16V engine with a turbo conversion to 150 horsepower. It's a track tool to drive and have fun on the racing track. And I think let's start with the first sensor and installation. Let's go. Okay, we will start with the oil pressure sensor. We have different places on engine to connect my oil pressure sensor. The first option, and I think for me the best option, is to have an adapter plate. It's this blue one you see between engine and my oil filter. You have different holes to connect all the sensors, oil pressure and oil temperature in this adapter plate. The second option is to connect your oil pressure sensor from SincoTech with this epsilon adapter to the place normally we have the oil pressure switch. We have an 180 Sol NPT thread to have a connection without any gasket and have no oil problems on this adapter. Here we have the oil pressure sensor with my 180 NPT thread. We have 3 pins, the power supply, plus and minus, and the signal pin. The pressure sensor converts pressure into an electrical signal. In this, oil pressure to an electrical signal. In the oil pressure we have a membrane that is equipped with a measuring sensor system which reacts to expansion and compression and changes its resistance. The signal voltage depending on this. That means you work here with a supply voltage of 5 volt. The voltage changed by the resistor, it sends to the DPU and converted back into a pressure value on my dashboard. It's very easy to install, and in this moment it will be hard, and we have the connection without any gasket to my oil pressure epsilon adapter. Okay, it works. Okay, the next sensor I will show you is the temperature sensor for my coolant from my engine. This is a NTC resistor, and the NTC resistor is a resistor whose resistance values decreases with increasing temperature. We have here a power supply from 5 volts, and this voltage will be changed to a signal voltage depending on the resistance of the sensor. We have different places for positioning the sensor on my engine. This is the place for an adapter you see in left side of my video, or on my engine from my VW Lupo I have a positioning on the thermostat housing and make an adapter to screw in the sensor from SincoTech. The sensor values will be sent to the DPU, and the DPU and the dashboard show me the values in temperature, grad Celsius or Fahrenheit. Okay, we have the sensor for water temperature. He comes in port number 8 on DPU, and we have the sensor for oil pressure. He comes in the port number 5 on DPU. The next 2 signals, we don't need any sensors from SincoTech. We have the sensor always in car. It means we have the sensor for RPM from engine, and we have the sensor for car speed signal. We will begin with the sensor for RPM signal. We have different ways to get a signal from engine. The first is the camshaft sensor, the crankshaft sensor, we can use a signal from ignition coil, signal from fuel injector, or the original RPM signal from my dashboard. I used the camshaft sensor on pin number 2 and have connect my wire on the signal voltage port number 2. The sensor looks like this. We have 3 ports and the signal is port number 2 and connect to the RPM wiring. The next signal I used for my gear, it's the car speed signal. You can use it, like SincoTech say, from my dashboard, the original sensor signal from dashboard, or I used the sensor from my gearbox and connect it to the sensor. The sensor is the same, it's called a Hall sensor. It's the same sensor for speed of my crankshaft, camshaft, or speed from my gearbox. It's very easy to install. We only have one wire for one sensor. The next sensor we will install is the sensor for boost pressure. The boost pressure sensor connected to the port number 4 on the DPU. The sensor for boost pressure is exactly the same as the sensor for my oil pressure. We have a membrane inside who changes the resistor. We can install the boost pressure sensor on my boost pressure pipe or on my intake manifold. It's different ways to install it.